Hey guys, you're watching this video if you got 7A or 7B, that your explanations essentially just weren't quite enough. So this is what you're doing. Your notes are from 1019. So I'm there, and I wanted to just point these out to you just to remind you of them. So if we think about explanations, we can do four things essentially. So one, we can clarify, what does the author mean? You can agree or disagree, which you can usually do without saying things like I agree. You can kind of imply it. You can connect it back to your claim, and should connect it back to your claim. And then you can evaluate. You can say why it matters. A lot of times that is with an if-then statement. So this is in your notebook, but I did want to show it to you just to kind of remind you of that. A lot of times we do more than just those four, or we might combine clarify with agree or disagree. So I wanted to show you guys an example with some frames so that hopefully you can add a little bit more to your explanations. So here we have an example of commentary. The claim overall is waking up early can result in a decrease in academic performance and an increase in safety and health issues. With that being said, school should start at a later time. And if you notice, everything down here in bold is the commentary or the explanation. So we've got our topic sentence. For starters, waking up exhausted and sleep deprived is a #1 issue among pupils. According to the National Sleep Foundation, quote, 59% of 6th through 8th graders and 87% of high school students in the United States aren't getting the recommended 8.5 to 9.5 hours of sleep a night. So we started with that topic sentence, then went right into a piece of evidence that illustrates that point, that supports that point. The rest of it is commentary. The rest of it is how this piece of evidence supports the claim, essentially. So we can actually start with that first sentence, and I can already see some signal words popping up. We've got one right here that's clarifying. It says, in other words. So basically, that's answering, what does the author mean? So it says, in other words, the National Sleep Foundation is saying that students are not getting enough sleep. All right, so it's just kind of reiterating that point. And then we've got this as a consequence. And I love this signal word here because it indicates, hey, there's something important that happens here, right? There's an effect. This is how it connects to my claim. There is a result of this. So as a consequence, this thing happens. They lose interest in what they need to do in their daily lives. And then this is almost like an Inception style commentary because now we've got another example that the author here is providing. So again, connecting back to our claim by elaborating a little more. So for instance, students may need to study for a quiz scheduled for the next day, and instead of studying, they might just take a nap and end up failing the quiz, right? So this is an example here of this consequence. And then we've got another example, is their mood. Students can end up being grumpy and unfocused all the time. Thus, this proves we youngsters need our sleep. So this one used a lot of signal words, which means that they were doing a lot of different things with their commentary, which was really important. Remember, we also have other frames that you can use, especially the if-then. I like to use that as kind of my last one to kind of sum things up, because I feel like that's a really good one to say, hey, look, if we keep letting this happen, problems are going to continue to happen. So for example, I have a school start time one in here as well, and I ended mine on, if the schedule were to be pushed back, then these kids would lose a lot of money over the time, so the schedule should remain the same. So that was kind of an if-then that I wanted to add in there. But there's other ones as well. So this evidence shows, basically this means, those are both clarifying. And then we've got some cause and effect ones there as well. So hopefully you can use a few of these frames, or maybe you can use a few of the frames from here and kind of add on a little bit more to your commentary. Happy writing. Thank you.